Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. This is the Nobody Entertainment Podcast. My name is Nobody James, and as usual, we have Nobody John. John, I don't know if you realize this, but this is an important episode
Because you introduce
because
boys and girls into the stuff we talk about?
I mean, all genders are welcome. Um,
Well, I just meant age appropriateness.
how old is a boy?
I don't know, under 12? 12 and under?
All right, we welcome all ages, of course, too, because we know you. Never mind. Anyway, this is episode 24, which I don't know if you're doing the math. That puts us right at the 6 month
This is
mark.
our 6 month anniversary.
This is our 6 month anniversary,
Our
John.
hobby
So
hour, yeah, man.
this is a pretty big deal. We've been doing this for 24, exactly half of a year. Now we've missed a week or two here and there, nothing too crazy, like a week or two, but I think for the most part I've uploaded videos pretty consistently. This will be the 24th episode we have uploaded. So I think technically we have literally missed 2 episodes of posting. We may have recorded, but then we posted a little late, out of order, whatever the case may be. We still have a topic that
We got
we
production issues. It's what happens, man.
we need to discuss. We have things that we want to talk about. We have ideas in the backlog, but we'll come to that another time. So, John, happy anniversary, 6 month anniversary. I feel like I've known you for 20 years.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't realize it, and I
Yeah.
didn't get you anything.
I'm here. That's what I got you.
I mean, the next time I see you in real life, you can have this plant, this
Yeah.
oddly grown succulent that's definitely reaching for the window.
How about how about for our anniversary you take a bite of that thing right now?
No.
Just take one big old
No,
bite.
there's aphids on it. I've got to spray like some vinegar on it. I'm not eating my wife's succulent.
That's not what she said.
But make note, I did offer it up to you. So,
That's nice. You offered me your wife's succulent.
yes, right. That is,
It's not the first time, and you're not the first person. I'm just saying. So
well, that's hurtful.
so John, how has your week been?
It's been fan effing tabulous. Yeah, it actually has. Hopefully, it's gonna be shorter than whatever it has been. I took yesterday off, and
What?
yo, yeah, yeah, took yesterday off, so I only have to work 4 days this week. Gold. It's gold.
Why yesterday specifically? I'm going to adjust my camera a little, so I'm sorry for the shakiness. Keep going though. Tell me why you took.
I can't do it on the motion blur. Um, well, it was one. It was my wife's birthday,
Oh, what a waste of time.
and then I also
So
finished
you
taking her
got some of
car.
that succulent, didn't you?
No,
Oh,
nope,
dang it.
not this time of the month. Nope, nope, nope.
Oh my God. Anyway,
Make anybody come vegetarian. Anyhow, um, and I also took her car down for the last time to finish that heated seat thing, and I was done. And it was basically a blizzard when I started my trek down there. It's crazy. It was like
really.
light dusting, little snow, and I was like, no big deal. And then I hit the highway, and then it starts just coming down, and people start driving like idiots. But I made it there alive. It was cold,
Too
you know.
bad.
hmm
I was rooting
Uh,
for you to fail.
my wife and I beat every level of Pixel Junk
Uh,
Monsters 2 on easy. Now we're going on to the tricky stage. We played one level twice last night, or 3 times last night, failed each time. Because we like to get a perfect. We don't like any of our little chibi baby guys to die. So we got to play that level again. So now it becomes the struggle is real. Struggle is real. I
yep,
also
this
got
is
a
where you start to get like divorces and stuff. This is where the real.
So that's funny. There have been quite a few arguments, especially on the first one. I'm just like, what the hell did you put a cannon there? You know spiders are coming. Put the arrow down. But she's got it now. She's like telling me where I goof up. But she doesn't understand the master plan. Master plan
Did you
that is
guys speaking of goofing up, but to put a little pun on it,
that's
to
not
make it a little
TV appropriate,
punny,
James.
make it a little punny.
Okay.
Uh, Did you goose up
We
and
have not
finish
finished that.
Untitled
We have
Goose
not
Game? No.
finished it. Nope.
Hmm.
Haven't
Quitters never
finished it.
win. Oh, how's Lord of the Rings treating you? Shadow of the Empire or whatever it's called.
What? Shadow of War.
Never mind.
The
I'm
end of
sorry I
it.
even asked.
Yeah, I know. The end of it's
That's what
sort of
you do.
like
Just
one of those loot box things where you got to pay to win. It's grind centric right now.
that's excuses right
I felt
there.
like the game could have ended literally after the third act, and I think they added it on the fourth act just to get you to get like buy add-ons and stuff.
You need four acts. Are you talking actual chapters? Like there's like you're in chapter four? Because there's
No,
only three acts to
there are
like a film.
there are 4 acts. There are 4 acts to this game. Look it up. Why don't you play it? Why don't you why
Yeah,
don't you know the struggle, okay? And
yeah.
then you can relate to me and then you can talk about it. But until then, shut your non-war
Vagina.
mouth, okay?
Mm.
I I I was fighting Saxony, and this made me so mad. So I was fighting Saxony in Iron Hearts and
Iron Harvest.
Iron Harvest. Yeah, sorry, not Iron Hearts. It was like 2.5 hour level, and it was a struggle. Was so real. I thought I was gonna die 3 times, and then the game just froze. Music's playing, screen goes black. I know it's not the computer because like I can Windows out and do other stuff, and I was just so mad. And so then I was like, okay, surely this game has autosave. Nope, not for this level. It's autosave before, but not for this level. There's about
So
2.5 hours of my life sweating. I had the stress sweat going on, all for naught. Pissed me off
so everything that you've done is gone.
for that level, yes, but it's a
Hmm.
hard level, and so it's very. But hey, that's it. Um, I got also I also got a notification that my Musica, my little music box for my wife's car shipped from Switzerland. So I'm gonna roll out some contacts. So everybody, look out for that stuff because I'm gonna make an unboxing, installation, and jamming those beats out to the public because we know people it's winter time, so people are gonna be out and about on the streets to listen whatever smack my bitch up or whatever I want to put on there.
You got to start soft because people are going to start to recognize you in your small town. You got to do like a walking in a winter
Oh, dude, that's the
wonderland or
only celestial blue Fiat. There's some brown, white, yellow ones around, but none of that blue around here. So, and I'm sure that they recognize that car anyhow when my wife cuts them off and stuff. Getting her an electric car was going to be
your
good for my.
wife. Yeah,
Yeah. No,
threatening to
seriously.
threatening to beat people up on scooters.
No,
That's definitely your wife.
she uh she just drives aggressive, and now that she has the ability to take anybody off the line anytime, unless it's like a Tesla or something, she is aggressive.
Be
So
aggressive. You have to. You know,
I'm
especially when
just
you're
gonna
driving
like
around
I
in
want to
that car.
make sound bites and just like I love my husband. I'm a dumb wife, and just like
And
let that loop.
don't even tell her. Just put it in.
Whatever I want
She's
today.
just.
Like
But she. Well, I mean, it's a horn, right? You have to honk the horn.
no, no.
No, you just
So this is
play
a
it.
pedestrian
So
warning
you're gonna be like
speaker.
a. So it's gonna be like an ice cream truck driving around.
If she drives under 22 miles per hour, yes. So you can set it up to play one tune while it's just turned on and in a stop state, and then another tune that is just going to play under 22 miles per hour. And then there's they call it a friendly horn, but there's a toggle that you can hit if you want to use that instead of your regular horn. So I don't know. It'll be fun. It's going to be fun. It costs a little more than I wanted to, but it'll be fun. So.
How much does it cost?
I think I got I got a extra warranty on it, so it ended up being like 184.
Oh, it's
It's
not
not
that bad.
bad. It's not bad
You made it sound like it was the end of the world. But you bring up money, and it's
to
just one of
me.
those. Yeah, I mean, $184. I've spent a lot more on a lot less. My wife and I have bought a dog for like $1,800 one time. Had it for every bit of 5 days, and then got rid of it. So we put it down. No, not not really.
That's how we
But
do in Wisconsin. Then we eat those cannibal sandwiches or whatever.
No,
Dog dogging.
my daughter had some negative allergic reactions to it, so we had to switch gears and move on without it. So we found a nice home for it, or at least we think we did. We only took a $1,300 loss on it, so whatever. Stupid. One of the worst things I've ever done. But speaking of worst things I've ever done, I
Losses,
was.
right? Speaking of losses, or no?
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, I don't know. Have you been paying attention to what all those lowbrow investors have done to
That's
the?
exactly what I was getting ready to transition to. That's crazy. We're on the same page here tonight.
I actually finished setting up my Robinhood account. I halfway set it up maybe like 2 years ago, and I didn't do anything with it. And
This is the thing, and I know there's a lot of positives, a lot of negatives, and everything like that. But basically, the way it's worked out is, and what we're referring to is this GameStop stock situation, right?
and
Um,
Nokia, and AMC, and
Bed Bath and Beyond, I think, was one of them.
yeah, there's a couple other ones.
So basically, the way that this has worked out is just that there's been a couple of I get, what do you call it? Like, people rushed the market, and now their stock, like for instance GameStop, because I didn't actually look into a lot of the others, but GameStop specifically they were down to like $1.85 a share about a year ago, and now, at least as of 2 days ago, they were peaking at about 450, and in just the last day though they've dropped down just above $300 a share.
Yeah, there's going to be some. There's already lawsuits about it, but I think the Fed's going to have to get involved because all the trading applications, um, they stopped you from buying those stocks now.
Right, which is inappropriate.
Yeah, I think it's illegal actually. So we'll see what happens out of it. Because basically all they're doing is they are preventing the short sellers from losing any money. So the only option you have if you have that stock is to dump it. And the whole mindset behind this whole movement is to make these short sellers, these big investment firms that, mind you, have effed over little people since the
Forever.
beginning of the market,
Hmm.
pay, pay, make them hurt like everybody else is hurting. And maybe it's a little aggressive of me. There are people that are going to lose money because they go with these big investment firms. So they're going to be like hurting or whatnot. But these are the same people that caused the housing crisis. I mean, like not the same people, but they did benefit from the housing crisis. There, what
Right.
is that? What is that one? That isn't it called The Big Short?
Yeah.
Is yeah, sees that he
That's what the
makes
whole movie's about.
yeah, making money off of other people's problems. So a lot of people wanted to fight back against it. They're like, yeah,
Right.
if I lose
Yeah.
500 bucks, but they lose 500,
See,
500,000, oh,
see,
seems
I'm kind of
fair.
kicking myself because back whenever the stock dropped that low, I legitimately considered buying in for about $1,000, and that $1,000, if I were to sell 2 days ago, would have been worth $250,000.
Yeah. Um,
So, uh,
there's been plenty of
it,
times where I've
it is
kicked
what it
myself on
is.
the stocks. I'm like, okay, I need to invest in AMD. I missed that boat because I don't have the cojones, so to speak. So
Yeah, see, that's the thing, though. I mean, if I could find a good opportunity, I'm not afraid to drop $1,000 into the stock market. But I just haven't. I don't ever feel confident in the investing. But it is what it is. But I don't know. It makes you wonder. You sit here and you're like, man, if I had got that quarter, I mean, easy come, easy go, though. I mean, at $250,000 is not that much money in today's standards. I mean, I'd pay off my house and maybe my car,
yeah.
and then
But that's good. That frees up the rest of your income. But the whole mindset of this wasn't to make money. I mean, hopefully some people made some money out of it. But the deal is that some very wealthy firms lose money, and they've been bailing each other out. Okay, and now they've got these trading organizations, the brokers, whatever you want to call them, like the Robinhood and whatever others in the world, not allow you to purchase uh, more of the stock, and I think it's upsetting and it's grotesque the protectionism that I'm seeing. So
yeah, it's weird though. I don't know where everybody else stands, but specifically GameStop. I mean, they're already, like I said, up above $350 at this point. If you're buying shares at that
I think
amount,
they're
you're not
down
going to
though.
be. Yeah, well, they were over 400, so they've dropped down into the 300s now. I think they're in like the
I think I thought they were
315,
less than that.
320, maybe, and it's going to drop. you know,
Oh yeah, well, it's not doing well. The whole reason they did this was to mess over those people.
right?
So it is what it is, and that's the mindset behind it was just to
What are you
mess with
doing?
him.
Are you
It's
are
at
you switching?
193. It's what?
Are you
Yeah, I am.
switching off again? Are you screwing this up?
Just you. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, 193. It's at 193.60.
That's crazy because just a couple of days ago it was over $400. So you know it's going to drop quick. And I wonder what this does for. I'm sure it doesn't do a lot, but I wonder what this does for GameStop. I wonder if they're going to make any money off of this or see any interest, or if they're still going to be heading towards.
33 minutes ago, Robinhood to resume trading on GameStop AMC stock amid volatility. See, that's
Yeah,
the deal.
they
Because
must
they
have got that
stopped,
phone call.
they
Yeah.
they yeah, because it's actually pretty disgusting if you think about it. I don't know. I could probably get mad about it because you have the opportunity for these people to short sell. I mean, poor Tesla. That guy had everything working against him. He had the major auto industries, the oil industries, and the like short sellers going against him. And I mean, like, he was able to turn around so they lost millions of dollars just so that he could keep his stuff afloat. Here's something where people aren't trying hard. Like GameStop is not doing anything different. Nokia even came out and they were like, we're not doing anything different. We're not aware of any new technology we're bringing out. But these investment people, these yous and me's, of course, well, we haven't invested, but they decided that they were going to push the stock higher. They were going to push it really high so that these other people lost money. It's a no winner kind of scenario, but these other people are going to hurt more than these average Joes, and I think that's funny. That's good.
Well, they could turn around and still sell their stocks and make some money as long as they dump it at the right moment.
Correct. But
So
somebody's
I
going to
mean,
lose.
so that's a win though, right? Some of these low income, low risk investments, like you said, or I said, if we drop $1,000 into the market, it's not like it's going to break our bank. And if we walk away with a couple $100,000, that's life changing money to a lot of people out there, and
Well, yeah. Well,
including myself. Like you said, if we bought a house, paid off a house, bought a car, you could buy 500 of those noise boxes or whatever the case is, just for fun, just to sit them around your apartment. You could stack them up on that cat
and the
perch
fiats to
in the
go with them.
background. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Anyway, I thought it was cool. It's very entertaining to watch it. I watched a couple of videos about it, and I was like, thank goodness. And then somebody was trying to relate this populism movement to fight the power with like Trumpism, and I was like, I don't see it, but okay.
Whatever. Whatever. We're moving past it. We're not talking about politics.
Fine.
That was almost our entire conversation last week. So I even labeled our video, sorry, politics. So, well, with that being said, I just wanted to jump in for a second. This week has been, it feels like it's the last 2 weeks has been pretty crazy. It's been
So
busy.
school.
I won't go into it too far because I don't want to fall into too much of a depression. But my Packers failed miserably in their championship game. Your Chiefs succeeded admirably in their championship game and will go on for a second Super Bowl in a row. Mahomes will have the opportunity to second ring, whereas Tom Brady will have the opportunity to get his seventh or eighth ring. I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly. He's
but
been in
it's all
10
about the
Super
D.
Bowls. This is his 10th Super Bowl.
It's all about the D. And my D is going to put the fear in Tom Brady. That's where you succeed. You've got to make him shiver in the sheets. You know what I'm saying? So you whip out that big D, he'll shiver in the sheets and he'll
Mm.
crumble. Anyhow,
But he's not a big shaker and mover. So I guess we'll see what happens. There's always next year. Sorry, Pack. Thanks for playing. I appreciate everything you did, and we played a heck of a season. It was a pretty decent game overall. I don't know why you're about to laugh, but I
I'm
think I'm
not
gonna
about
burn
to
your
laugh.
house
I'm
down.
just trying to bite my tongue.
It is what it is.
I
They
got
they
mad
they
watching
had
it,
some
so
bad plays. Everyone gets some. And again, LaFleur, it's only his second season as the head coach, and he's had two championship games in 2 seasons. He's not a playoff aficionado at this point, so it's something he's working towards. Give us a couple more seasons. I bet we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll see. The best thing I heard was that Rodgers had 4 more years on his contract, so hopefully he sticks that out. We don't do something stupid and get rid of him. But from what I understand, he's definitely going to be around for at least another season, and we'll see what we can do. We got to get past that. We've been to 7 championship games, I think it is, in the last 10 years. No, 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 no. We've played in 4 championship games of the last 7 years, and we've won none of them. So I don't know. I have to keep telling myself at least I have a team that can get that far. I mean, I could be rooting for the Jets or something like that.
Yep. Could be
So,
rooting for the Steelers. It's a bad deal.
but other than that, yeah, it's been really hectic, really busy. Obviously, like I've talked about it. I started school. I just putting about 15 hours a week into that and kind of just getting organized, figuring out how to put it together. And so far I'm actually enjoying myself with it. I like the critical thinking and the going back and writing papers and learning all that format and stuff again. So it's a lot of fun in some regards. I can see it wearing me out though, because trying to work a full-time job during the busiest time of the year, full-time family, obviously 2 children, a dog, a wife, a house to maintain, school. It's just a lot. It's a lot. It's exhausting, but hey, trying to keep it together, trying to make it work. You got to do what you got to do. Or I might not exist anymore by the end of this. We'll just see. I'll just dwindle away into a big pile of nothing. Oh, and also trying to maintain my physique. But actually, as I mentioned, um, I'm keeping up with the exercise. I did 8 miles on the treadmill yesterday, 4, I think, of which were done while I was reading my textbook, which was actually a really good way to pass the time.
How the
Um,
heck do you do that?
it actually wasn't as bad as I
Were you
thought it was going to
walking
be.
or running?
I was just walking.
Okay.
I did,
I was
like I
like,
said,
I
4
get
miles I
sick.
was reading, and then, or 5 miles I was reading, um, and then I ran my 3 miles. Today I only did 5 miles, but I only walked today. But then I went to the store and I bought an entire, like I told you, a pack of Oreos. They have a new style, a limited flavor, whatever they're called, but it's like brownio or Oreo. It's either way. It's a brownie. It's an Oreo cookie with brownie, chocolate chip cookie dough, and the regular icing mixed in the center. And it's actually really good. It's really good. I ate almost the entire package today, so that was like 1,400 calories worth of just Oreos in the last couple of hours. So I feel
Damn.
pretty crappy right now. Yeah, I think
Well,
I'm.
you just gotta get some coffee, snap out of that sugar high, call it
Nah, I
good.
don't. I don't do coffee, John. We talked about this, and you're
You
not supposed
should
to
do
either.
coffee. You should do coffee. It's good stuff. Yeah, well, you know what else is
Sound
back?
like
Limited
a
time
addict.
only. McDonald's
These
spicy
nuts.
nugs.
Are they really?
Yeah,
I'll be there tomorrow.
I found out
That's
today.
lunch.
That's what we had for dinner.
Yep.
I found out today. I was like, getting it.
But do they have the sauce? That's the question.
Yeah, they've got the
Okay.
sauce.
Then I'm in. I'm in. I don't get it. Why don't they just make this a staple? If it's not the McRib where people eat it for a month and realize that it's literally like,
Trash.
yeah, pig digestion or whatever the case is. These are quality spicy nuggets. I put them on par with Wendy's spicy nugs. If not better. I don't know for sure, but they are great.
They are good. They're
I
really
gotta
good.
get I gotta get me some of those. I gotta get me some of those. So, well, all that's well and good, John, but has anything been entertaining you this week?
Yes.
Did
You
you
want me to
did you
elaborate?
did you watch the movie that we talked
Yeah, I watched it before we got on.
today?
Yeah, I forgot. I did. I was like, eh. Ah, watched it on
Well,
HBO Max, by the way, because apparently I don't own the movie for some reason. I thought I
I
did,
don't
but
I don't own it either. The movie that we're talking about is the movie that we discussed last week that we were going to watch because what I would like to do is start a bit of a series called Director I Hardly Know Her. And what we'll do is we'll try to stick with the filmography of a single director. Week by week, we'll discuss one movie in their filmography, and then we can move on. Since I picked Edgar Wright for this first series, I'll let you pick the next one, but try to keep it to a minimum. I don't want you picking a director that's directed 65 movies,
yeah,
and like
Blumkampf.
you can't. That would be an easy one. He's what, 3 movies? Chappie,
Oh, but you
Elysium,
gotta watch the Oats Studio stuff too. They're nothing.
the
Short
what?
films. Oats
We're not.
Studios. Doesn't
We're not
matter.
watching. We're not including short films in this series. We can watch them if you want, but we'd need to watch like all the short films and discuss it in one episode.
Yep.
Did you click off again? You're getting laggy.
No, I'm not. I'm good.
All right. So the movie that we're talking about today, at least at this moment, is Shaun of the Dead. This is a movie that was released in 2004 and directed by Edgar Wright. It stars Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, among a few others. No one else too terribly. I think well known. I think the other one, the big one, is Bill Nighy. I think his name is.
Is that the old guy?
He's got plays the stepdad.
Yeah, Victor. That's what I know him as, Victor the Vampire.
Oh yeah, from
Underworld.
Underworld,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
Hmm.
So anyway, I guess to give a brief, quick synopsis, it's a story of kind of a middle-aged loser. He's, young 30s,
He's
mid
29.
30s. Is he 29? Okay, so he's. It says right here in the write-up, a 30-something loser.
Said he was 29 when he was in the store talking to the dude that was taller than him that was 17. He's like, "What are you?"
You got you got red on you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like, "What are you like 20, 21?" Guy's like, "I'm 17." He's like, "Well, yeah, I've got plans too in my life." And the guy's like, "When?" I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
You're fine. So I was well, a 29-year-old kind of a loser. He's got a girlfriend. He's in a dead-end job. He's not really going to amount to too much. Um, Him and his girlfriend break up, and then the zombie apocalypse happens, and it's just him kind of stepping up, being a man, and fighting his way through a little bit of the zombie apocalypse. It is a comedy, maybe just a smidge of horror, but not so much. Just a little bit of gross out stuff, but overall pretty tame. So, what are your overall thoughts on Shaun of the Dead?
Well, I love this film. Okay. Um,
Okay.
it's yeah. Well, it's got great comedy. Okay.
It does. It
It
does.
reminded me of friends that I grew up with. Like even when it came out, I was hanging out with them all the time, and I kind of related to this film. Maybe I still do. I don't know. But I think it's right. I'm the washed up 29-year-old.
I can see it because you got the friend that's sleeping on the couch and he's not going anywhere. You got the other friend that's participating, or not friend, roommate that is um, wanting him to move on and move out because he's a low life or whatever the case is. And it reminds me of a time whenever I actually came to your house when we were maybe just out of high school. I don't remember exactly, but you were living with your sister and a friend and some other people. And then I said something. There was a guy just sitting on your couch sleeping, and I'm like, "Who is that?" You're like, I don't know. He came with the house, and it just cracked me up because every time I came over, there was the same guy sitting in the same spot. I was pretty sure that he uh, had perished, and
Well, I got a story for you after the show though.
oh, okay. I think I
Yeah.
already know it. Go on, though.
It's after the show. But anyhow,
No,
it's
no, no,
great.
not with that story. I'm talking about the movie.
Yeah. Great movie. Uh, it has aspects, or I like see them and their director. They try to do that. What is it? Nick Scorsese? Like, no, not Nick Scorsese. Who
Martin
did
Scorsese.
Snatch? Who's the director of Snatch?
Hold on, it'll come to me in just a second. Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie. So they've got aspects of that. I don't know if they're like homage to him or if they're like trying to make a funny of like his style. But it adds to this film. I don't know. There's
Yeah,
a
the quick cuts
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah. I like it. I like it. Um, it's a great film. It's funny. There's a little bit of drama. There are um, good character buildups for this loser. He's trying to make his life a little better, and the zombie apocalypse is the perfect time for anyone to turn their life around. Okay? Just you throw it all aside and change it up. I was triggered a little bit though, because when he was on the way home on the bus off of work, everybody was coughing, and I was just like, COVID, COVID.
I I hate that so much nowadays. There's so many. I was actually just watching a YouTube video that had come up like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was some guys playing a video game, um, and one of them reached over and like touched the other guy's face, and I was just like, oh, you can't do that. I hate that every aspect of our lives now is like COVID COVID ridden, so it's everywhere. And anytime you see anyone do anything, you're just like, oh no, oh no, 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 you can't do that. Stay 6 feet away. Don't touch him. You know.
Yeah,
But to get back into the movie, yeah, I think like you mentioned, I think the comedy of the movie is perfectly timed. It is incredibly clever. It does a really good job of taking a character that's kind of a burned out loser, and it does a good job of making you care about him, and then it does a good job of having him giving him a sense of purpose. Now he feels like he needs to save his girlfriend, save his mom, and
And
try
save
to try
face.
to try to do what he thinks is right, even though at the end of the day, spoilers, full spoilers for Shaun of the Dead, it's from 2004, which is sadly a 17-year-old movie at this point. Um, but it's kind of the wrong move. I mean, it ends up getting everyone in the group killed with the exception of him and his girlfriend. So if he had just stayed with at one point he crosses paths with a mirror reflection of his crew, and if he had gone with them, they would have ended up in the military. But or with the military, I guess I should say. Here's a question I have for you. Based on the way that this movie ends, would you say that her crew got killed, or would you say that her crew survived? Because you only see her at the end.
They
Like she's like
survived. They all
so
had
are
weapons. They all so that they were the opposite of what his crew was. I mean, like they had identical looking characters and very same habits. But if you noticed, his crew lost all their weapons. Okay, but her crew had all of them. They had all their weapons. So
sure, but at the end of the movie, her crew's not even shown, not mentioned, nothing. It's just her. So
they
is it
made it.
implied?
They
Is it
made it.
implied that she had the same fate, only she ran into the military versus a bar,
No, I think I infer that they all made it.
which is definitely definitely a possibility. I don't know which side it comes down on, but one thing I always thought. First of all, I guess I'll start. When I first saw this movie, I actually didn't really care for it. It was
What?
one that I'd heard a lot about, and I thought it was uh, supposed to be. It's kind of like the note. It came out around the same time as like Napoleon Dynamite and movies like that, um, where it has this massive underground following, and it's supposed to be like the next best thing. So when I watched it, I was just kind of like, eh, this is fine. Not to mention the fact that at the time, in my youth, 17 years ago, I had a hard time following the dialogue with their heavy British accents and stuff like that. So now watching it, I don't have any problems at all. Obviously, I didn't used to watch a lot of you know uh, British films. I think the only ones I really saw were Snatch or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, the Guy Ritchie films, which I want to go back and rewatch those at some point just because I bet they take on a whole new meaning because they are kind of tough to understand, and that's even outside the Brad Pitt character. And um, in uh, Snatch specifically, he's like, "Oh, you like dogs? Dogs? Oh, yeah, I like dogs." So watching it now, going back and thinking about it, it's like I said, I think it's almost a perfect movie. I don't think it could be much better. It's funny, it's heartfelt. The scene where he has to kill his mother, the zombified version of his mother. I think it's a very appropriately heartfelt. So
Yeah, I'd have to. I'd
I
have to agree.
I would give this movie a Gaga. I'd say I'm Gaga for Shaun of the Dead.
I am. I should buy a shirt.
This says Gaga for Shaun of the Dead
Yeah, for sure.
specifically.
And then we'll wait for the
So what else is?
lawsuit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only shirt you ever wear. Um, so what is something else that has been entertaining you?
Something else that has been entertaining me. Well, I think I went through everything. Playing Iron Harvest, getting frustrated, music coming out, hanging out with the old wifey poo, and
What a waste of time.
I know.
I'm
Sorry.
I'm just kidding, of course. Well, I have a couple of other things that have been entertaining me. One thing that you can tap into, um, I did listen. This is on the music side. I did listen to that. What is it, Ashniko
Uh huh.
album that you had told me about? I think the album's called Demi Devil or
Mhm.
something along those lines. Um, Overall, it's kind of fun. It's kind of a fun poppy romp. Obviously overly sexualized, but I think that's just part of her persona or whatever the case may be. I
Yeah.
can see why you would like it because it's definitely like the American version of what is it, De Antwoord or
Yeah.
whatever
The
it is.
Antwoord. Yep.
So I could see it being in that same vein. Obviously, not so much rap or trap music or whatever the case is. Um, like she almost does a complete cover of Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne, but it's called Later Boy, and it has the exact same chorus, but it's again just overtly sexualized like verses, and it's like I said, it's just a fun album. So I actually enjoyed it. I appreciated you turning me on to that. I think that it was actually released last year.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know when it was released. I don't, so I'm really bad. I'm not a music fan. I guess I don't know. I don't like get hyped up or get
no,
as
it came
much.
out. It came out this year.
Boom. I'm on the cutting edge finally.
Yeah. See, you don't even have to finish that statement of how behind the times you are. It's just you are up to date.
I I've purchased more albums this year than I had all of 2020.
I don't ever buy music. I listen to everything on Spotify. So, oh, that's
I
not true. I buy records. I guess I do buy albums all the time.
I
So I
bought
like to.
vinyls. I'm
I
special.
I do buy vinyl. I only have something like 23, but I'm trying to build up my collection because I want.
You
I
got a
love
lot
it.
of space to waste.
I love. Look at your house, John. Look at your house. I'm looking at this bookshelf behind you. What is that? Do you even touch it? I don't want to go into it. Doesn't matter.
I
So
touch it a lot. Hey, I've
if it,
donated. Like, well, no, that was probably last year. Never mind. I donated like 17 books last year. I need to get rid of some more. So,
yeah, I've got like 6,000 books in my house, and that's probably not close to an exaggeration. Um,
why? When are you gonna read them?
I don't read shit. My wife does. She
Boo.
read like 160 books last year. It's insane.
I read like two.
I read zero. So hey, other I don't know why I got squeaky there. Sorry. Other things that have been entertaining me. I've been playing through this game called Cyber Shadow. I doubt you've even heard of it. You're tempted to just click through and try to find it, but you can't. So don't. Put that hand away. Oh, okay, you can do that. So this is a side-scrolling like 16-bit game, um, as if it had come out on like the SNES or whatever the case may be. It is essentially what Shinobi was back in the day, with just a little bit more to it in the sense it's maybe a bit of a Metroidvania. So you're kind of going around, and it seems like this time every year I'm digging into some kind of 8-bit side-scrolly game because I think they just get released in the early parts of the year. Um, Probably because there's not a lot of games that are released at that time, so they kind of try to horn in. This is actually developed by a developer called Mechanical Head Studios, but it's published by Yacht Club Games. And I don't know if you know who they are, but they developed Shovel Knight. And so I don't know if you really played or know of Shovel Knight too
I know of
much.
Shovel Knight. It's on my wish list. I didn't buy it though.
I'm a huge Mega Man fan, and Shovel Knight falls into that category of Mega Man. It's just an extremely easy version of Mega Man, and this Cyber Shadow specifically is in that same vein. So far, I think I'm about halfway through it, maybe level 6 of 10, I think is where I'm at, and I'm really liking the hook. It's kind of an interesting breakup because you just like a lot of NES games. I don't know if you ever really dabbled in the NES stylings, but you have a level and then you fight a boss at the end, like every Mario or every Mega Man or whatever the case is. And in Mega Man's case, you gain their powers or their weapon, and then you can utilize it against some of the other bosses or enemies or whatever the case may be. In this game, um, the bosses are scattered a little bit more randomly throughout the levels. Sometimes you run into them at the beginning, sometimes you run into them in the middle,
Is
sometimes
it
at the
actually
end.
random?
It's not procedurally generated. No,
Oh,
it
okay.
is.
I was like,
It
well, I mean,
I
like,
I don't
all you do
prefer
is
those
fight more
games.
bosses, just like it's randomly the bosses in the level.
No, it is definitely set forth like appropriately. It's built the way that it is intended. So you're gonna encounter them at the same time every time you play through the levels. But uh, story wise, there is a little bit more of a deep story built in. But in a game like this, I don't really get invested in the story. I kind of just press A through it. I'm just like, all right, let's get to the action. Um, but it's a really really neat mixture of uh, I guess what I should say is the powers that you gain are number one, in some instances, really cool and different, and in other instances, very basic and just simple. So, for instance, like halfway through the game, you pick up a power up that allows you to wall jump. So before you couldn't scale up the wall, which you can do in like most video games in this era. So it's cool that you start out weak and you just can't do that, and then you gain this ability. Other abilities are like an upper slice with your sword that sends fireballs flying up. Others are like a downward stab, so when you jump, it gets electrified, and then it can take out a big swath of enemies or whatever the case may be. Um, Another one that I just picked up is a run mechanic, which you just double tap whichever direction and you're dashing. But then if you use your attack button, you like jump forward, which is a really cool design, and it introduces a whole new swath of um, uh, platforming aspects. So now the most recent level that I'm playing through has a bunch of lasers throughout, and then if you trip one of the lasers, it sends a bunch of like attack droids at you and makes the level almost impossible to beat. So you have to be very careful, and you have to maneuver and jump over and try to avoid those lasers. But the main thing I'm loving about the game is the boss designs are very inventive and different and incredibly hard when you first encounter them, but it has a very rewarding and uh, I guess a very friendly replay system because you have an infinite amount of lives
Okay.
and you get placed, so you'll hit like a checkpoint right before you go into the boss area, and it has kind of an ease, like a level of ease that you can build in because you pick up currency. And so then if you hit one of those checkpoints and it's where you respawn, you can spend some of your currency to give you a bonus.
To
So for
buff up your
instance,
guy.
yeah, and it usually offers three different buffs. One buff, it just is an auto refill for your health. One buff is an auto refill for your special, so your like projectiles and your again the downward stabs or the upward whatever because it uses magic or whatever you would say. And then usually it gives you a third option, which is um, like an ally. So he might shoot along with you or whatever. But if you get hit 3 times when you have that ally, then it gets destroyed, right? So it's a really neat mechanic. So it's as easy as you can afford it to be. Otherwise, you can kind of backpedal and grind a little and gain some of that currency, and you can unlock it at every checkpoint. Me being the that I am, I didn't realize that's kind of what it was doing. So every time I got to a checkpoint, I was like, "Oh, cool! I get these." So I'm spending all my money. And then once I realized, oh, it only unlocks it for that checkpoint specifically, and those are throughout the level, I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe I should save my money up a little bit and not just give myself a extended sword slash or whatever the case is.
I mean, don't
But
kid yourself. You probably needed those to get through the levels.
that's a possibility. It's a possibility. But it's definitely a game that I'd like to do a full review on once I get through it. I've hit a kind of a roadblock right now, but I've only been playing it for about 2 or 3 days. Again, that's a game I put on when I'm on the treadmill and just walking, and I play it on the Switch and I just set it up with the controller in my hand. Um, if you're a fan of old school side scrollers, I'm going to say it's a fantastic game to play. I'm not going to rank it right now because I haven't beat it, but I will beat it and I will report back. And I have one more movie that I want to talk about real quick. Sorry, I know I'm losing you.
No, it's fine. I mean, like, you already lost. What are you talking about?
That's true. I'm used to it. But have you ever seen this The Blob from 1988?
Yeah, I've got a story if you want to hear it about the Blob.
Sure. Hit it.
Okay, so I love sci-fi. I like horror, and I never saw that movie. And at one point, the whole family's gone out of the house. I was like, I'm gonna watch the Blob. I don't. I think I was like 14 or something, and It's wintertime. I'm putting wood on the fire. I'm watching this film. I get so entranced and freaked out by this film. I have the heat jacked up. My parents get home. It is 94 degrees in my house because I stack so much wood in the fireplace and like turn on the blowers for it. They get home, it's 94 degrees because I was like terrified. Like, this thing is
So
unstoppable.
you're like not paying attention and you're just like
Yeah, I'm
just putting
like,
wood on the fire.
I put wood on the fire. Gotta keep the fire lit. I'm not getting sucked up by this giant amoeba. So,
Is that probably the last time you saw it? Like you said when you were about
yeah, it was
14.
forever ago. And I just
So
remember like the ending. Spoiler alerts. Can I share the ending?
yeah,
You've
it's a
got those
1988 movie.
crazy religious fanatics, and then they have that like glass jar, and they have a piece of it. and I was just like, mother.
Yeah, it's a movie that somehow slipped by me, and then I watched
You
I
say that
watched
because
a
it's a blob. It slipped.
it
But
does. It just slipped right by me. I watch a YouTube review series, Red Letter Media. They talk about older movies and stuff, and they discuss it on there. And then I was like, this movie is right up my alley in the sense that like the Gremlins and kind of those introductory horror movies are just perfect, and they all came out in that little patch, like a Beetlejuice and stuff like that. And this falls into that same category, but this is just your run of the mill. Uh, Monster movie basically, and it starts with a what looks like an asteroid that crash lands on Earth, and then it infects an older, like homeless man, and he gets taken to the hospital. I guess I should probably really quickly say that again, it was released in 1988, directed by Chuck Russell, and it stars the only name that would really stick out to me is Kevin Dillon, who is the brother of
Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon.
I don't know.
I think that is his name actually. I got to look it up now. Um, Here, I'll just click on him. Again, it doesn't matter too much. This guy, you would know Kevin Dillon from um,
The blob.
Entourage. Matt Dillon, you're right. He's the brother of Matt Dillon. Um, so this is the only thing that I know for sure that
Nailed
Kevin
it.
Dillon actually starred in. But I think it's a great creature feature. It's overly gory. It subverts expectations because the character that you think is going to be the main character gets killed very early on. Um, it's just badass. Like overall, I think it's just a fantastic movie for its age. Uh, it's fairly well up to date. The visuals look fantastic. The Blob is scary when it has no concernable personality. And then, like you said, that twist ending or that ending because a priest accidentally, well, not accidentally, he captures a piece of the Blob, not really knowing what it is. But then it basically turns into a situation where he's like full on worshiping it, and it implies that there should be a sequel, and the sequel never comes. So
Yeah.
I strongly encourage all five of our viewers to watch this movie. I think if you enjoy movies like I said, Gremlins, or just monster movies like I don't know, even Jaws and stuff like that, this is going to be right up your alley. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely a great movie. Kind of when I reminisce about it, I kind of think of that film Slither. You know, an
Yeah,
asteroid
yeah.
crashes, this blobby type thing gets out. Of course, Slither's a lot more grotesque, but it still adds that like this thing is going to consume you. That's what
I
I
don't
don't know. Maybe that's a big fear, like being an alpha of this planet. Like nothing eats us, but this consumes us. It eats us.
I
So
don't know that Slither would be much more grotesque than what the Blob is. It's like a RoboCop situation that I think if you think about RoboCop today, you're like, oh yeah, it's a kids movie. But if you go back and watch it, there's like slimy mutants getting hit by cars and exploding, and people getting stabbed in the neck with blood splurting out, and
hmm
every bullet, like gunshot, is like one of those squibs that like explodes all over their bodies. So it's very much like that. Like it shows like full on bodies melting and legs like being ripped off and stuff. It's a pretty grotesque film, which is awesome in my opinion. I love practical effects and that kind of horror aspect, body horror and stuff like that, like The Thing and so on. The Blob 1988 was actually written by Frank Darabont, which
Hmm.
you would know him. He's a pretty notorious director these days. He directed The Mist
Okay.
and Shawshank Redemption, and I want to say he directed The Green Mile, but I could be wrong about that. He does a lot of Stephen King stuff because the only three things I just listed are Stephen King.
Did he do that Stephen King uh episode where they had like like uh those aliens, the gray aliens that popped out of the they were on like the UFO or whatever, they were starting to take over the earth. The military always like fire bombs wherever they land. They were like trying to put stuff in the water.
You talk about War of the Worlds?
Nope.
I don't know
Stephen
what you're
King.
talking. I don't know if it's Stephen King alien story. Let me look
It's
it
like
up.
Dreamcatcher or something like that.
Oh yeah, Dreamcatcher. You're right. I forgot about Dreamcatcher. I don't think he did that.
Oh, why you said
I,
Stephen King? I was like, that movie
you know,
freaked me out too.
I actually like Dreamcatcher. I think it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it freaked me out though. I'm good.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up who directed it, and you can add it to your list of directors. If you watched it today, you wouldn't think it was scary. I've watched it relatively recently, and it's really just kind of hokey, but I like the character development in the film, and we can talk about that another time. This was directed by Lawrence Kasdan, which I know that name.
You do now. You just read it, so
Apparently, he directed The Empire Strikes Back.
yeah. Anyway,
That
I don't know.
that
It just
can't be
creeps me
right.
out. Like
Is that right?
that's all they need to do. The government's conspiracy. They're hiding the aliens, and all they need to do is poison the water well.
He
So
didn't direct The Empire Strikes Back. That was Irvin Kershner. He must have had a hand in in like the writing room or the production room in some capacity. But
hmm.
I sound like an idiot now. I can't talk about Star Wars. I don't know too much about it. But one other thing, I'm not going to go into it. I just wanted to let you know I have been watching WandaVision on Disney Plus. Is that something you're going to watch
I,
ever?
maybe if I get bored.
I won't go into too much detail because I'm gonna save it and talk about it whenever it is over. But I will say that it's a show that I think is very interesting. I'm a big fan of the Marvel universe, the MCU. Um, but this is a weird. Just watch the first episode; it's crazy. Do you like old shows like I Love Lucy or Bewitched or All in the Family or any of that stuff?
I used to watch I Love Lucy all the time on the treadmill in college.
You should watch at least watch the first episode of this show because it is exactly I Love Lucy, which is weird. It's so weird to say that because it's just how does this fit into anything? And it's interesting. As the episodes progress, it gets weirder and weirder. So, like I said, I'll talk about that more a little later. But
A
John,
little later.
since that's what I didn't actually rate the
Yeah, you
Blob, let
didn't
me
rate
do
the
that.
blob. You like skipped over. I went on some weird tangents, and you were like, "Yeah,
I'm
you
Gaga.
got
I'm
what?
Gaga. I'm
You
Gaga for
Gaga
it, man.
for it?
Gaga for it.
I have to
I loved it.
rewatch it then, huh?
And I'm just upset. I'm upset that I didn't see it when I was younger. This would have been one of my favorite movies of all time if it had gotten to me whenever I was 10.
You
I'd
went
love it.
throwing wood on your fireplace, about to burn your house down.
I see. I never really got. I've never. I think the only kind of movies that really scare me are paranormal movies, which is ironic because I don't believe in ghosts or
But they get
afterlife.
to you, like the demon
Paranormal. Yeah,
stuff gets you.
just something about it. Because I think generally I have a fear of being alone, and especially alone in like a dark room or whatever the case is, because you never know what's there.
That's right. It
I
could
think
be
that's
something in the cold, in the dark, with gnashing teeth. You betcha.
and that's why you throw wood on that fire. But
I mean, you
so I'm
throw
gonna say
wood
I'm
wherever you
Gaga
can.
for it. That's true. I'm always slinging wood. But John, we've got about
Stop, stop.
5 more minutes left, so I think that'll be perfect. A perfect segue into a game that we're going to play real quick, or a game you're going to play. Um,
Am
so
I
I'm going to
contestant in
say
this game show?
you are a contestant in this game show. I'm going
Right.
to. It's name five. So we're going to do 5 rounds. You have to name five in the timer. I'm going to say I think this is a minute timer. So you have to name five. I'll try to keep it relatively easy. There are
Five
five
by
different
five.
categories on each card. I could ask you. I could ask you some really hard ones, like ones that there's no way you would know. So, for instance, this is just a warm up. Breakup songs. Name 5 breakup songs in 1 minute.
Taylor Swift.
Done. That does it. Done. You just if you could name 5 Taylor Swift songs, that would answer the question.
Yeah, I
But
can't.
I can't name very many of those either. But we'll have some fun here. We're gonna do it, like I said, 5 minutes, 5 rounds. If you get three, then you win, and your prize will be this really cool box of nails.
Okay.
So
Just
that's
put
gonna
that
be
with all
for
the
you.
computer hardware I left up there, so I appreciate it.
Mhm. So in the trash. Got it. Um,
I thought
I'm
Ram's
just
still
kidding.
good. Don't do that.
I'm just kidding. I have it. So here we go. Are you ready? All the rules are simple. I'm going to give you 1 minute. You have to name five of the categories that I list. So here we go. Number one, name five flavors of potato chips. Go.
Sour cream and onion, cheddar, is normal one, pickles, and then salt and pepper. Yeah, there's pickle flavored potato chips.
Salt and pepper potato
Yeah,
chips.
yeah, there's salt and pepper too. There's black cracked pepper. Fine, salt and vinegar. You want that one? That works out
That
too.
salt and vinegar and
Yeah.
pickle.
Yeah, it's pickle. Lay's pickled potato chips.
I've never
Go,
heard of that.
go to
I'm
Walmart.
looking. I'm looking it up. I paused the timer. Lay's pickle potato chips. I've never heard of
They also
this.
make they also make Southern biscuits and gravy potato
No, stop.
chips
Now you're. That's true. I've heard of that. I've had them and they're good.
and
It
pickle.
does have a dill pickle. It is
Boom.
listed here. I did not know that existed.
Yep.
You got that one. You got that one.
I got them all five, man. I had five like 5 minutes ago.
All right. Here's a good one for you.
I get chips. Okay, I know chips. Don't.
Here's a good one for you. Ready? This is something that I know that you know a lot
Did you get
about.
that timer reset?
It's ready to go.
Don't
Here
try
we
to
go.
cheat me.
WWF wrestlers. Go.
Sting, Undertaker, the Man. Is it Man? The Man. Yeah, the Man.
No. I know who you're thinking of. His name is
McMahon.
not
Something
Bloodman.
McMahon. Oh shoot.
There's some last name is McMahon, but you have to get his
Yeah,
first name.
you can't do this. What is the Caveman? There's the Caveman too.
No.
He had the sock. I
Yeah,
don't know wrestlers,
I know
dude.
who you're thinking of.
I don't
I
know
know. I
wrestlers.
know you
There's
don't.
The
I don't
Rock.
either.
I mean, I don't know. Hulk Hogan.
One more. Time's
Ah,
up. Time's up. I thought that would be a good round. You were thinking of Mankind,
yeah.
and then also Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon. Yeah,
He's
Mankind.
like he like runs the WWF or something. I don't know anything
Now,
about that either. So
Steven would have answered that because I don't know wrestling, but he used to watch
I
that.
can name a bunch of wrestlers. You got Stone Cold Steve Austin. You got Goldust. You got
Damn.
like you said, The Rock, Sting, Kane, Undertaker, uh, Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys,
Yep. Okay.
Matt Hardy, Jeff and
Like
Matt
you're
Hardy.
saying
I
them all,
think.
and now I'm like, yeah, I know those are all wrestlers. But like, I
I've
don't know.
I've
On the
watched
spot, I couldn't think of them.
maybe one episode of like a fight or a whatever you call it, a match, and it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I hated it when I was a kid. I thought it was so stupid and fake. I just couldn't get
This is
into it.
very boring for me.
What?
The wrestling.
Yeah.
If they like came out and wrestled, but they're like, I, drink black coffee, and you put 2 shots of cream in yours, you wanker. I'm just like, who cares? Beat the shit out of each other, and they never do.
and they just talk stupid. Like,
It's like Dragon Ball Z. You gotta wait for the build
yeah,
up for 3
so
episodes.
dumb, so dumb. So all right, here we go.
Could I
Round
have named
three. Your one.
China? Would that have got me in there? Or is that not a?
China is a wrestler.
But
Absolutely.
okay, dang it. I should have gone for that, but
I
whatever.
didn't say male wrestlers.
I know.
Sable.
Sable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I said stable. The horseman. Um. All right. Here we go. Ready? Ready? Number
What?
three. Round
Okay.
three. You're 1 for 2. Characters belonging to Nintendo. Go.
Mario, Yoshi, Wario, Luigi, Kirby.
Keep going. See what you
Oh,
can do.
Star Fox. Uh, Samus.
Samus, but close
Samus.
enough.
Sorry.
I mean, I got to run this clock down anyway. You keep going.
For Nintendo. That's
Bowser, Peach, Toadstool,
yeah,
Waluigi,
yeah.
Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I guess they were only Nintendo as well. Yeah.
That's it. Cranky Kong. We can keep going. All right, you got that one. I didn't think you would actually get it. You're not a big Nintendo guy.
Nope.
All right, how do you feel? I got it. Let's see here.
I feel good.
How about? That's too hard. You'll never get that one. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one.
Thanks
All
for
right.
choice picking for me.
Well, I can't ask you hockey teams.
Nope.
There's no way. I could probably do it. The Bruins, the Blackhawks, the St. Louis Blues, the one with the penguin.
You got the Mighty Ducks.
They're redoing the Mighty Ducks.
Why?
It doesn't matter. And I mean, it's got Emilio
I'm not watching it. I don't get.
Estevez.
Nope, not
All
watching
right,
it.
here we go. 5. Name 5 Looney Tunes characters. Go.
Daffy Duck, Sylvester, The Roadrunner. Coyote.
What's his name?
Coyote.
He's got a real name.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see here.
Doesn't count then.
Yeah, what's the
Could just be like cat.
Animaniacs? Well, no, I don't care about the cat. There's Tom and Jerry.
That's
That are,
not Looney Tunes.
those are not Looney Tunes?
No. You're
What?
running out of time. You're failing.
I know, I'm gonna fail. I don't remember the
How could
mouse.
you fail
Like
that?
Speedy Gonzales?
Speedy Gonzales, Wile E. Coyote is who you were looking for.
Wile E.
Um,
Coyote. Dang it.
yeah, you
Last names
got
don't count.
obviously
Is
no
is
Coyote.
is there another Coyote
So
in
you just say Bunny. You just say Bunny, Devil,
Roger? Yeah. Okay.
Runner,
Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
Ostrich, Dope.
So
All
I
right.
get it.
No, you don't get it. You failed miserably.
That's trash.
All right. I'm gonna get. What do we do here?
Even the ones you think I'm gonna get, apparently I'm not going to.
Okay, I'm gonna give you this one. I think you can get this one. Would you? Who do you know better, Jim Carrey or Ben Affleck?
Jim Carrey, I think.
All right, we're going Ben Affleck. Name 5 movies that star Ben Affleck. Go.
Batman. It's Batman. Batman
Yeah, he's
versus
in
Superman.
Batman movies. There you go. Okay.
Uh, Ben Affleck. That's the only thing I can think of right now with Ben Affleck in it.
Come on, you can do it. I'll give you a hint. Smoking. Aces.
He's not in Smoking Aces.
He is.
He's like a
You didn't even
detective
say,
in there.
you didn't even say the one I said to say. You only got one. All right, John,
That
I
is
get to
so
keep my
strange.
box of nails.
What has
Well,
Ben Affleck been in?
Reindeer Games,
Didn't
The
see it.
Town, Gone Girl. Um,
I've not watched any of those.
I said Reindeer Games, right?
Yep.
Geely, Armageddon,
Okay, I guess I saw that at one point.
Batman vs Superman, Justice League, Argo.
Argo.
Is that what it's called? What else has he been in? He's so many movies. So many movies.
He's been in a lot, but none that I'm just like, yep, that's
Dazed and Confused, Smoking Aces. Um, you should watch The Town. Have you not seen The Town?
no.
One of our director I hardly knowers is gonna be Ben Affleck. The movies he directs are usually fantastic, and you'd love The Town. It's so good.
Yeah.
Well, John, you suck at naming 5. You could name 2 of the 5, so I'm proud of you for that. With that being said, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Nobody Entertainment Podcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and John, hit me with a little bit of that knowledge.
When you expect to receive a box of nails, just go buy your own.
Thanks for watching.